This content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no
a
one.
second.
Oh, no.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching SeptumSin versus the world. I'm SeptumSin, and I am talking about what I got. Well, I'm working with a bit of a cold here, so a bit more nasal than normal, but I'm going to try and work through this. So we are going to be discussing my collection yet again in this lovely, lovely selection. So we have a lot to go through, but let's go ahead and go through these ratings in case you are new to this. Of course, I'm going through my entire collection and rating it, and there's a lot to go through. We're starting with C today. So let's talk about the ratings. Priority. Things that I feel are the best of the best. I love these films. I not only feel that they are loved, but I feel like they are essential as well. So, I think that it would be a good recommendation to you, and it's something I love. Yes, please. Recommendation, yes, this is an essential. I think it's a good film. It's not one of my greatest, but it is definitely a really good film that I would have to recommend to most collections. Curious. Curious is kind of in the middle. Actually, I am going to change this to unknown, yes. So, Curious is simply, it's a good film. I mean, it's decent. I enjoy it pretty much. Nothing like spectacular, but it is okay. Meh. I couldn't care less about the film. It's either maybe, or I don't like it. It's one that I would not miss from the collection if it was to disappear. And then Unknown, I haven't seen it. I don't know much about it. I can't rate it. So, let's talk. I used to have it as Hell No, but Hell No means that I don't want it at all in my collection, and that's not going to be the case with any of these. So let's start with Cabin Boy. Cabin Boy is one I just recently added to my collection. Matter of fact, for those of you who are watching this, it's one that is not even yet on the pickups yet. But I got it on the Scream Factory Shocktober sale because it was so darn cheap. I'm surprised that they released a copy of this. They did the Shout Factory renewable treatment on this film. It's an okay comedy. The weird part of me that kind of hates myself decided I want this in my collection. Sam Elliott, back when he had a very brief spike of popularity. Excuse me. Brief spike of popularity. It's alright. So, yes, it'd be over here. So, let's see here. That one is... Sometimes you gotta look. Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods is an amazing film. Great horror film. I'm a little bit off of it, but it's only because I've seen it so many times. Chris Evans, wonderful acting, amazing concept. I'm glad that, I think if Thor hadn't boosted there, we wouldn't have actually gotten to see it, which is sad that would have to happen. But yes, this is probably one of the best horror films ever made. So yes, or horror comedies, I should say. Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. You can't have a collection without this, especially if you're a horror fan. This is like one of the earliest horror films, and it's very well done. It still has a creepy factor, even for a silent film. It is an amazing piece. That is a yes, please. I don't consider it the best of the best because it does drag at times for me. So keep that in mind. All right, The Cable Guy. Classic. I didn't get the love for it at first, but I admit this was sort of like one of the first times I got to see Jim Carrey veer a little bit off of his character. It was sort of like him playing it in a more sinister light. And for that, I got to give him a lot of kudos. To me, I think if you're a Jim Carrey fan, and just any fan of movies in general, should have The Cable Guy in their collection. So I will have to put that there. Caddyshack 2. I like Caddyshack 2. I think it's a good film. I don't think it's just okay. I think it's a really good film. I enjoy it. Most people would be like, Caddyshack? Really? Caddyshack 2? Most people don't like Caddyshack 2, which is a sad thing because it's just as enjoyable as the first one. It goes here. All right. Caddyshack. Priority. Plain and simple, one of the most essential comedies of our time. You have some amazing performances, and it's just a great film for all times. Really good at making you feel better. I think it's just a wonderful film. Cadillac Man. Well, Cadillac Man is a Robin Williams film, and it's a fairly decent film. But I wouldn't say it's not bad. It's not great. It's just kind of in the middle there. It's a little bit, it's on the good side. Like I say, it's in that, like, it's good range, but not, like, great range. Cafe Society. I have watched, like, 99% of the Woody Allen catalog. I have watched all but 2 films of his. And both of those actually fall in the trilogy for Amazon Prime, which is Wonder Wheel, Cafe Society, and A Rainy Day in New York. I've got to prioritize these because, again, what's wrong with me? I have watched every film except for those 2. So, except for Cafe Society and Rainy Day in New York. I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah. Looks fun, good casting. I've heard it's not that good. I've heard that the trilogy is not that good, but I liked Wonder Wheel, so maybe. The Kane Complex was a random that was sent in a random pack when I ordered one from What Movie One when he was doing those. And I actually quite liked it. It was very enjoyable, had some interesting elements talking about PTSD, home invasion. It was a pretty decent film. Pretty good, pretty solid right there. All right, California Suite. Unknown commodity, but I've heard some good things. Call Me By Your Name. Recent pickup. That's all I know. Okay, this Call of Cthulhu is a cool idea. It is an indie film. It's shot. It takes the mythos and it does it as a silent film. And they do a really good job. This thing is really loved by many people. And I really think if you are a collector of film that this one is an essential to have. Especially indie film. To me, it's some of the best of indie film. I don't consider it something that I love, but I really feel like it's well done. It's extremely solid, and it is a good film. So I'm going to put this in the priority. I mean, that party, yes, please. Call of the Wild. I know y'all are gonna be like, oh, he has to see Call of the Wild. Yeah, I know I haven't. So, yo. All right, Camelot. What can one say about Camelot? Well, one, I recognize the poster without the name, so that should tell you that I've seen it a number of times. My mother loved this film and wanted me to love the film, and I kind of am okay with the film. It is an excellent musical. Again, one I think should be essential to all collections. It is a musical version of the Camelot Tales, the Arthurian Tales. And they are some of the oldest fiction tales that we have when it comes to like fantasy and all of that, with potential basis in reality, but it's debatable. So this one I think is an essential. It's a fairly solid film, got some good acting chops, good singing chops in it, but it is what it is. All right, so we're getting into the Camp Blood films. Camp Blood 2. I love the original trilogy of Camp Blood. So, Camp Blood 2, amazing slasher film, really good indie horror slasher film. If you don't like low-budget slashers, however, you gotta be careful. So now some of these I'm gonna have to look up because I don't recognize the artwork right away. Camp Blood 4, yeah. And 5, yeah. You can see my reviews of both of those. And you'll know what I'm talking about on that. I really don't like either of these. They're not well done. I've even talked with the director, and he had said, yeah, I can't really stand by these as my best work. They were given very little money to work with, very little original screenshots, and 4 is so dark in places you can barely see what's going on. Now, I talked with David Sterling about this, who produced these films, and he had said the Blu-ray quality has improved it a bit, so I'm going to check it out on the big screen when I do it next time to see if it was there, because I saw a lot more potential in 4. 5 was just a giant, long flashback, but I got the big box set, so I'm going to have to watch these all on Blu-ray. 666. I consider Camp Blood 666 the moment where Camp Blood finally regains some of that glory. It is probably the best of, well, not probably, it is the best of the series after its revival. Because you had Camp Blood 2, and then Within the Woods, which was disowned, and then time went by, and then they revived it with an official Camp Blood Free, which I'm doing quoting marks. But 666 is really where it found its stride. It really hit home, and I think they did an excellent job with this one. This is a priority, I think, in any horror collection. These are this one, and the first one, and Within the Woods are all priorities. Let me see what this one is. All right, Camp Blood First Slaughter. I'm trying to remember which one that one was. I think that's the third film. And it's not a bad film. But it's not a great film. It's an okay film. It was an okay revival. I didn't mind it. I think they did an okay job with it. It wasn't. It had a little bit more invested in it than 4 and 5. So, it is what it is. Take it with a grain of salt. As far as low budget slashers go, it's okay. So, I invested my personal money in Camp Blood Kills. I have a special thanks credit in it. My name is on the disc. So obviously it's a priority, right? No, not really. I would say it's an okay thing. Essentially, what it is they take um, the kills, a lot of the kill scenes and the sexy scenes from Camp Blood 2, Camp Blood 3 through, I want to say, I don't know if they go to Ghost, I think to Ghost to Camp Blood, and also The Occultist and Axe Grinder, to kind of give you a best of clip show. So it's a decent thing. If you like a bunch of the kills, you want to just skip all the plot line and go straight to the gory nature, then that's really where you go. All right. And all right, original Camp Blood. And you'll notice that some of these are not on here, and that's because some of the posters did not make it on here, and other ones, like Ghost of Camp Blood, would be under G for Ghost of Camp Blood. Camp Blood, Brad Sykes at his best. I mean, that is an excellent creation. I really love the original trilogy, as it could be called. The best of the Camp Blood movies. To me, all you need is Camp Blood, Camp Blood 2, and Camp Blood, and Within the Woods, if you really want the best of the best. Camp Blood 666. Matter of fact, I'm just put this down here because I consider it essential, but is a very good one, but not in these levels. And a lot of the other Camp Bloods, with the exception of these two and 3, except for these and these, the rest of them are in this range. They're good. They're really enjoyable. All right, so Camp Nowhere. Unknown Commodity looks fun though. Campion. Anime I've not seen. Campus. Campus is a weird one. Campus is a hentai. I don't have many, but I've heard about this because of its campy acting, and I like campy acting. So yes, I will definitely put this in. It's a fun one for what it is, but it's kind of boring, to tell you the truth. A boring vanilla one. All right, Canadian Bacon. I like Canadian Bacon. It's one of John Candy's last films. It's the only film, not documentary film, that was directed by Michael Moore, and I thought it was pretty good. So yes, I'll put it here. It's not great, but it is good. It's enjoyable. Well, let's keep it at that. Candyman. Interesting thing. It's been called urban horror because it takes place in that sort of setting. It's a very creepy film, lots of use of bees, very well done, very excellent horror film. Not my priority, but definitely one I think anybody should have in the collection. Candyman 3 and Candyman 2, actually that's Farewell to the Flesh. Unknown Commodity, there's Candyman. And Candyman 3, Unknown Commodity. Cannibal the Musical. Yes, priority. It should be in any collection. It's not my favorite of their films. Creators of South Park did this. I really did enjoy the whimsical nature of it. I think it was enjoyable overall. I mean, the Making a Snowman one is kind of hilarious. As it is, I think that Cannibal the Musical is a fun, enjoyable romp with a comedic take on the on the Donner Party, which I'm not sure that was necessary, but whatever. Okay, Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death. It's one of Bill Maher's few acting credits. Don't know much else about it. There. Okay. Can't Buy Me Lunch, which is the Ruddles second movie. Ruddles was a parody group on the Beatles back in the day. It's not as good as the original film that they had, but it was a decent effort and fun little parody. I do have their one album. Cape Fear, the remake. They had a good remake for Cape Fear. I've never seen the original. It is a pretty awesome thriller. Overall, I think that it is up there. I'm not sure. I mean, I would say it's better than good. It's a great film. The Cape. I really like The Cape. Not many people like The Cape, as shown by the fact that it didn't do well enough to even get a full season. But, it's about a guy, he does the Batman thing or whatever, he gets he supposedly dies and then uses magician's tricks and stuff like that as his thing. I thought it was really well done concept-wise, and it could have been much better, or it could have been actually a even greater thing than it was, but still a good series. I think as you can get it cheap, it's worthwhile. Capitalism, a Love Story, one of the weaker Michael Moore documentaries. That's okay. Michael Moore can be a divisive individual, and you're going to either like him or hate him for the most part. And this one really is only going to be in the loved category for those people who are really and truly those like the Bernie Society people, and is only going to be and is going to be hated by pretty much anybody who is like, I'm afraid of socialism. And for those of us in between it all, it's all right. I feel like it was kind of a lazy effort, and it was, like I say, it's just really one-sided effort. It's a little bit more entertaining than some of his other ones, but and there's going to be a couple, or at least one of his films that's going to be down here, but it's all right. Capote, excellent film, Oscar-winning, amazing acting. Not my favorite, but also one that is an essential to a collection. The original Captain America and the Captain America 2 movie. These were kind of campy fun from the 60s, so, they can be enjoyed. Captain America, the 90s film. I really like this film. I think it was until the new Marvel Universe, this was probably the best Captain America film. It did a great job illustrating the Red Skull. I thought it was just entertaining the whole way through. I think this is a priority, really. I think people should see this one. Most people should. I mean, Civil War, yeah, I like this. I don't like it as much as most people that are like, oh, it's Marvel, we gotta put it up. No. Only the best of the best Marvel for me would go up to the top, and I can't really. Same with Winter Soldier. I liked it well enough. I don't like Captain America well enough. They're all really good films. Definitely better than good. They're all really great films. I think they're essential. I think most of the Marvel films are essential films, so you're going to see them mostly here with only a few up at the top. And I'm trying to think of which one that one is. I think it's Captain Harlock Space Pirate. Yep. This one's okay. The author is one of anime royalty as far as I'm concerned. He is an amazing creator, Galaxy Express 999 creator. I need to watch that series, but I've enjoyed what I've seen so far. Captain Harlock Space Pirate is alright. It's an okay series for the time it was created. It's nothing special, but I do think it's a great thing to have in anime, though I don't consider it necessarily essential anime. It is a good classic anime, and if you really are an anime collector, you might want it just because it's because of the creator and the the background of it. Captain Marvel, decent film. I consider most of the Marvel films that were Disney to be essential films. This one's kind of more divisive in a lot of ways, but it's still got some good. It's not the best of the Marvel films. It's probably one of the weaker ones. So, I mean, really, again, there's a lot of love and hate for it. I think that those people who love it and those people who hate it do so for political reasons. I think the majority of people who aren't like tied up in the politics in the film tend to be like, it's good. Captain Phillips, I've heard a lot of good things. Need to see it. Boy, I think Brie Larson would be insulted by this, but yes, Captain Ron, definitely. Captain Ron is a Kurt Russell film that is hilarious, is great, is a wonderful comedy. It's got a lot of personal love from me. So yes, it's going up there. There might be a lot of disagreements about this, but again, this is my list and my personal opinions. So I think it's an essential comedy. Martin Short. So who here was around during the Martin Short comedy boom? Captain's Courageous, haven't seen it yet. Probably isn't essential because an Oscar winner. Card Captors the Clear Card, haven't seen it yet, but I do need to see it. Okay, so Card Captors. I gotta check and see which one's which, because that affects the rating. So, the first movie is just kind of a continuation of the series. It's good, but nothing special. Card Captors, of course, is a Magical Girl series, one of the earlier ones, and by Clamp. And it's about this girl who finds a stack of cards, gives her magical spells that she can use, and it is a fun and entertaining series. This is just kind of like an episode that they threw out. I'm just like not impressed. The second movie is an amazing film and is right up there. It's like super high priority right there. And the series, I consider the series a priority series. It's not only one I consider an essential when it comes to anime. I do think that it is one that is one of my favorite anime. Not in my top 10, but it is a high priority, I think. I like Mind of Mancia. It's a guilty pleasure because of the controversy around it, like stolen jokes and stuff like that. And a lot of people probably would have a hard time with the humor just because of the times we live in. But it is a fun movie. It's a fun series. It's enjoyable. They kind of like threw him on to try and get that Chappelle Show crowd when Chappelle kind of just went off his rocker and left. Carnival of Souls. Carnival of Souls is essential horror. It's a very solid movie. I can't wait to dig into the Criterion to see it because I've only watched it on a kind of torn up copy. So I am looking forward to that. So, Carnival, a good series. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it as good. And there's a reason why I say good. Because this one, though it has a lot of amazingness to it, because it got cut short with season 2, a lot of what could have made it into these was missing. Still a very cool film, a lot of cool themes, very much worth seeing. Only 2 seasons. Carrie, the remake, it was okay. Carrie, the other remake, it was okay. The original Carrie, right up here. One of the best horror movies ever made. Needs to be right up here at the top. It's just, it's an amazing film. Carriers is a good film. I enjoyed it. It's nothing I like to write home about, but it's one that I thought was very much worth checking in. So, yep, there we go. Cars 2. It was alright. It was enjoyable. Nothing to write home about. Definitely in the lesser Pixar spectrum. Cars 3. Man, well, actually, no. I haven't seen it yet. It's on no commodity. Cars. Well, Cars, I would say, is a yes, please. I consider out of the Cars films, this one is the one that I would say is an essential for your Pixar collection because it is good. I do like the Route 66 backing, so I consider it above good. I consider it a great film, but it's a low grade. Casablanca. I don't have the love for it that a lot of people do, but I do consider it an essential Bogart film. It's an essential film in general. It's quoted a lot. It's referenced in a lot of society. Just for that alone, it's a very high priority film. So, case closed. I rank all of Case Closed. I rank it below. Actually, I rank it below Card Captors. I don't consider it in. Well, I consider Case Closed the series around that level of definitely essential. Let's see which one I've got as the actual Case Closed. Okay. So this one represents Case Closed, so I'm going to put that at the top. All the movies are really good, and I would definitely put those up as yes, pleases. It's kind of sad, actually, because this series is one of the longest running regular series out there, and it's actually longer running than One Piece. And yet they stopped the release here at 150 episodes. It's about this kid about this guy actually, he's still a kid, he's a teenager, who's an extremely amazing mind, detective-wise, and he kind of loves Sherlock Holmes. So he gets hit with this poison that turns him into a kid, and now he's trying to find his killers and solve a lot of murder mysteries along the way. And he has uses a lot of cool gadgets, stuff like that, and calls himself Detective Conan because Conan Doyle, the author of Sherlock Holmes. A lot of people love Casino Royale. I do not because I don't like the way that I really don't like the way they took Bond. I can't hate on the film as much as it has to be in this because it is an essential film for those who are film collectors. It is an essential, but I just don't like Craig's version of Bond for the most part. I eat my words a little bit later in this, but not here. Okay, so I'm going to balance that by putting the Peter Sellers Casino Royale right next to it. I love this one. DVD-wise, it's good because you get to see the very first Bond to film adaptation, which also was Casino Royale, in this as well. It's a fun film. I love the concept. Woody Allen is pretty good in it. Peter Sellers is good trying to play things straight. It's just pretty awesome. Casino. One of my favorite films when it comes to gangster films. And it's not technically a gangster film, but it is. I love this film. It's just amazing. I got it in Steelbook because I love the film. It's just really well done. Casper. I think Casper is an essential because it is fun. It's enjoyable, a little bit creepy, but it is one of those that is right there. I think it's an essential film to most collections. It just has a lot of cool things that make it an essential type film. All right, Cassandra's Dream. Oh my God, one of the most depressing films of all time. It's a well done film, and I'm gonna give it to. It's good, but God, it's hard to watch. It's really hard to watch. As far as Woody Allen films go, You want something that doesn't feel like Woody Allen? That's one that doesn't feel like Woody Allen, and good God, it's hard to watch. I have not seen Kashern or Kashern Sins. I've only seen the live-action film, which I liked. The live-action film was fun. Kind of like Cyber Ninja stuff. All right, Castaway. Really good film. Definitely a quality film. Not my favorite in the world, but I have to admit it is an essential. Casa Cagliostro. Best Lupin film in my opinion. Again, my opinion. Also, amazing story. Miyazaki, one of his earlier works. It's well worth seeing. Any fan of Lupin should see it. Fan of anime should see it. Fan of Miyazaki should see it. It's just right there. All right. Castle in the Sky. Also, one of my favorite Miyazaki films. It's actually a Miyazaki film. Very well done, whimsical, fantasy setting. Also an essential on all gears. Very good film. Castlevania, the animated series. I've seen some of it. I need to see more of it before I can really go. Casual Vacancy was an okay thing. It was J.K. Rowling's next attempt at something past Harry Potter. And it's actually fairly decent. It's worth checking out. You should, if you haven't, check it out. Read the book. It's not too bad. So let me see what this one is. I am trying to find that one to find out what that is. That one is Casualties of War. Unknown Commodity. Cat from Outer Space. I love Cat from Outer Space. I would put it here. It's one of my favorite films from childhood. It's always going to have that nostalgia factor pushing it up here. It's not my favorite, so I can't go there, but it's just a very amusing film. I mean, it's about a cat from outer space. I like cats. What do you want? Cat People. Need to see. Unknown Commodity. Cat Returns. Solid, enjoyable film. I can't think of any actual Studio Ghibli film that's going to fall below here unless it's an unknown commodity. So, get used to seeing them at least here, much like the Marvel films. Cat Shit 1. This is entertaining. I think everybody should see this, just to see it. It's only one episode, and it's about basically you've got these rabbits who are part of a unit called Cat Shit 1, and it's a military drama with rabbits versus camels. Cat Soup. One of the strangest and most artistic anime I have ever seen. And it is very much worth anyone to watch. I think everybody who is a fan of cinema should check this out. Artistically, it is amazing. Catacombs. Pretty decent horror film taking place in the catacombs below Paris. I would be PO'd at my friends for doing these things to me. This is the older version of Catacombs. Also a good film, decent horror film. Catch Me If You Can. It actually got me into Leonardo DiCaprio. I hated him until this film, and then I was like, oh, okay, this guy is really good. Tom Hanks, they play off well against each other. Really good overall. Catch the Kid. Early Scarlett Johansson role. Decent. Okay, probably one of her better acting roles. Okay, Cats vs. Dogs 2. It's a bad film. It's a bad film. But I like it. Okay, Cats vs. Dogs. You're going to be hating me for putting it here, but I love the film. Me and my mother watched it multiple times in theaters. It's just, I don't know. There's something about this amused me. It's kind of fallen off a little bit more over time, but it's just amused me greatly. Cat's Eye. Haven't seen it. I know I'm a bad Stephen King fan. Cats. Haven't seen it yet. Cave. Cave is a decent horror film. Chud 2. Bud to Chud. I need to see it again. I haven't seen it since I was young, so I can't go. Chud. I think it's essential horror. I didn't like it. I thought it was boring, but it is essential horror. C is an okay anime. It's not great. It's kind of weird with this weird economy thing and money thing, But it is what it is. So, with that being said, I've got everything down here. I hope you've enjoyed this. Of course, hit that like and subscribe button if you like this. Share, of course, and comment if you really like it. But most of all, have a great day.